Donald Trump said he was going to send troops into New York to stop Zoran Mamdani from turning into a socialist hellhole. And then today, they're like throwing it up, and J.D. Vance is like on the side, like, oh shit. Oh shit.
What'd you think of that? But I haven't gotten your take on that, JB. I talked to Sarah about it, but did you see it? Did you watch it?
No, so I haven't seen it. I've only read about it. I want to hear you guys tell me real quick. Give me your quick takeaways on this.
Oh man. I mean, it was like truly. I mean, everything with Trump is a little surreal, but this one was like comically surreal. At one point, they were like, a reporter was like, "Mr. Mamdani, you called him a fascist. Do you stand by it?" And you could tell Zoran's really struggling to figure out how to like spin this one, like how to get it back to affordability. And Trump just looks at him and he's like, "Don't worry about it. You can stand by it." And he gives him a little attaboy tap. And I'm like,
My only read of it, and I have no idea. Like, the only thing that that I've been able to come up with that even halfway makes sense is that they both kind of came into the meeting thinking that they were going to try to be like the magnanimous one and come out that way, and then neither of them ever dropped that, and then the meeting ended. Right? I mean, like, I don't know.
Yeah,
it was very strange.
Or
just straight up
why isn't
flattery.
it possible that Mamdani decided to take the same approach to Trump that like foreign leaders do?
I think that's exactly what he decided.
I mean, but why not? Why? I mean, national Democrats can't do that, but Zoran could. He is a little bit light. He's not a traditional Democrat. He's very local to New York. He can say, and he was able to do it in a way that was not grotesque in like Gretchen Whitmer, right? Because Gretchen Whitmer has tried to do this in the most pathetic way possible.
Right.
And Mamdani did it in a very Hollywood way.
Right.
And I don't know. Maybe that'll work.
I mean, this is what I told Sarah, is that because she and I were a little bit of disagreement about whether it was the smart thing for him to do.
For which him? Mamdani or Trump?
For Mamdani.
Okay.
And my point to her was this man, this young mayor, has 4 or 5 months where he's got to make it work. Because after that, it's just going to be hell. Every mayor's life is hell, right? But you get a little grace period, and you don't want to spend it with the federal government saying we're taking away trillions, and oh, by the way, we're sending in the National Guard and canceling all these infrastructure projects. Like, you just don't need that on your plate. So he bought himself 6 months, and that was worth it.
It was the charm offensive that charmed the fascist. You guys, it was incredible. And so here we have an image coming out. We have Mike Nellis tweeting, "Find you somebody who looks at you like Donald Trump looks at Zoran Mamdani." And you guys, look at Kanks in this image. Have you ever seen him this happy? Have you ever seen him look at Melania, at JD, at Stephen Miller, at Elon, even Ivanka, his favorite child? Have you ever seen Kanks, the fascist dictator, as happy as he is, looking up at Zoran? Incredible. Some personal thoughts that I had when I saw this was, I bet Stephen Miller is on suicide watch, because that image right there is the remedy for all of the white supremacist ambitions of Stephen Miller. That image right there is the image of the United States of America. And Zoran's, we've interviewed him in person, you guys. He is authentic. He has charisma out the wazoo. He is handsome. He is smart. And in person, his desire for affordability, his decency radiates off of him. It is authentic and it is real. This right here is my favorite clip of the whole thing. Zoran, Trump completely cedes that he's a fascist in front of Zoran and the press. Watch this. Play the clip.
He asked about your comment calling the president a fascist, and your answer was, both President Trump and I have been clear about our positions and our views. Are you affirming that you think President Trump is a fascist?
I've spoken about...
That's okay, you can just say
okay.
yes.
Okay.
That's easier. It's easier than explaining it. I don't mind.
Oh my God. He's like, okay, yes, I do. Kanks seated. Like, it's okay. We all know I am one. I like you. You don't have to go through this humiliation exercise. Think about how much Kanks loves to humiliate everybody in his orbit. Everybody. His wife, his vice president, his advisors, everybody, all of the oligarchs that funded him. Think about how much he loves to browbeat Elon Musk. And he absolutely just layup after layup after layup to Zoran. Zero humiliation exercise. In fact, Kanks was willing to absorb all of the humiliation. And I think Zoran continues to put on a masterclass. And I think something that's really important here is that as much as we dislike Kanks and as demented as he is, his political instincts have always been pretty spot on. And he likes winners. And he likes winning. And he knows how popular Zoran is. He knows, and it's not just concentrated in New York. It is across the United States. And he knows that being photographed with him and being kind to him was something that the Democratic establishment didn't do. So you have a dementia-ridden Kankles McTaco Tits glazing Zoran. And when I went to Zoran Mamdani's victory party in Brooklyn, I was so shocked that Chuckles and Hakeem were not on that stage, hand in hand, having this victory moment, since they're both New York politicians. But they didn't. And they still continue to try to distance themselves from him. Look at how fun the internet was yesterday when this happened.
I have some incredible breaking news for you. And I actually have quite a bit of it, if I'm being honest. So right off the bat, good googly moogly, what the hell did I just watch? That's all I have to say. What was that? I gotta be honest, I have mixed feelings about it. I sort of want to take a shower after watching that. I don't know how you guys feel, but that was weird. That was weird. So it is 100% without a doubt the case that Trump and Zoran just met, and Trump officially cucked himself to Zoran in front of the world. In front of the world. I mean, you had, oh my God, the clips that are coming out of this thing are hard to watch. So I don't know how Zoran did it. He charmed the shit out of Trump. And Trump, in the most humiliating fashion possible, played second fiddle, let Zoran take the lead. Trump kept making himself look worse and worse while making Zoran look better and better, and Zoran didn't give an inch on any of the things that he said about Trump over the years. So just to give a couple of examples, Emily Jashinsky of Breaking Points asked Trump if Zoran is a jihadist because the Republican running for governor, Elise Stefanik, called Zoran a jihadist. And Trump basically laughed and he said, no, he's not a jihadist, this guy. He's not a jihadist. And then he said, you know, when you're campaigning, you say things sometimes. You say things. Basically admitting, oh yeah, I'm totally full of shit when I'm on the campaign trail. Every Republican is completely full of shit when they're on the campaign trail. We don't actually mean what we say. We don't mean it when we call you communists. We don't mean it when we call you socialists. We don't mean it when we call you terrorists and jihadists. Duh. We're just doing politics. That's all. Oh my God, it was so brilliant. Oh my God, I want to bathe in that. Because they're just admitting we're right about everything casually without even realizing it. Another hilarious part, Trump was asked about Zoran calling him a fascist. And basically Trump was like, it's fine. It's okay. You can just say it. It's no problem. I was watching this what is going on here? Trump was also asked about being called a despot, however you say it, by Zoran. And he said, I've been called worse than that. It's nothing. I've been called worse. Okay. Meanwhile, Zoran's standing there if you're just going to keep giving me W after W after W, I'll take it. Of course, I'll just sit here and fucking take it. No problem whatsoever. So that was super duper weird. My guess is, here's how it went down. Here was the dynamic, in my opinion. This is my guess. So Zoran reached out to Trump and said, I'd like to meet with you. And Trump, I think, was kind of flattered by that. And then he shows up to the White House, and from what I could tell, I really think that behind the scenes, he was as much of a politician as he is in front of the scenes. And sorry for your background noise. I think the neighbor's sawing or something. But so I think behind the scenes, he was look, I care about affordability. I care about New York City. I want to lower the prices. If you want to help me lower the prices, I'm more than happy to have you help me do that. If you do something good, I'll give you credit. We can work together. We can figure this thing out. And here are my ideas. I want to build more housing as well. I'm laser focused on affordability, and just basically was the same guy behind the scenes that he is in front of the scenes, in front of the cameras. And I think that just charmed the shit out of Trump. And the other thing about Trump, as we all know, he's a sucker for a winner, and he's a sucker for a good-looking guy. How many times do we look at this guy, this big, strong, beautiful man, straight out of Central Casting? Look at this, I'll kiss all of you, even the men, I'll kiss all of you. These are all things that Trump has literally said. So I think Trump's a bit of a star fucker. I think he's a bit of a sucker for a good-looking guy. I think he's a bit of a sucker for a winner. I think Zoran went in there basically with the mindset of, I'm just going to talk to him about affordability. I'm just going to be direct, talk about affordability, talk about trying to make New York better.
Okay, so yesterday we saw Zoran Mamdani, mayor-elect of New York City, in the Oval Office with Donald Trump. They had a meeting, and Trump just gushing over him after their meeting, and gushing over him in the Oval Office, kept touching him. I can't explain any of that. Donald Trump clearly has a great affinity for Zoran Mamdani. I don't know if it's because it's a connection to New York City or what, but the right wing has been freaking out over that meeting in the Oval Office, freaking out over Trump's reaction to Mamdani in the Oval Office. Laura Loomer has gone on her typical Islamophobic rants about all of this, and said it's nice to see an Islamist communist standing behind the president in the Oval Office, yada yada. She has called him a jihadist and all kinds of stuff. She wrote it would be nice to see the administration not give Mamdani a total pass for his support of Islamic terrorism and his incitement of hatred against white people and non-Muslims. We need to see some moral clarity on the issues of anti-white racism and normalization of Islamic supremacy from the GOP. First of all, she's cuckoo pants. But then, Rudy Giuliani said that he was absolutely disgusted to see his successor in the Oval Office standing behind President Trump. Fox News, who said it? Fox News, Charlie Gasparino hammered Donald Trump, saying that the wheels are coming off the Trump presidency. Uniformly, the reaction on the right, they're freaking out. Charlie Gasparino also wrote on Twitter, "This just proves that even a clown like Mamdani can impress Trump just by kissing his ass. Pretty pathetic." Mamdani didn't kiss Trump's ass yesterday. It was the other way around. And I still don't know why. But, a huge part of what their plan has been since Mamdani won, a huge part of their plan for the midterms is to tie Democrats to Zoran Mamdani as some evil, malevolent other, the brown guy who's Muslim and who laughed at 9/11 or something. It was going to be the whole defund the police narrative campaign strategy all over again. Republicans nationwide, it was becoming their campaign strategy, one of their main campaign strategies for the midterms, to tie every Democrat they can to Zoran Mamdani, because according to Fox News, Zoran Mamdani is scary. And when old white people who watch Fox News see Zoran Mamdani, they're going to be afraid. And any other Democrat who is tied to Zoran Mamdani, whether it be personally or whether it be through policies that these other Democrats want to propose, Fox News was just going to be like, communist, Islamist, Sharia law. He's going to impose Sharia law. And they were going to paint every Democratic candidate nationwide with that. And Donald Trump just blew that up.
I just finished watching and listening to the Zoran Mamdani Donald Trump meeting. That was insane. That was insane, people. That was insane. Zoran Mamdani just met with Donald Trump in the White House, and all I can say is Zoran sunned the shit out of him. That was like, you are my son. Zoran Mamdani, initially the press conference started, and you're like, I don't know, he looks kind of like, he looks very small next to Trump. Trump looks all like he's the mafia boss sitting while Zoran's standing. But I realized it was actually so he could just pat him on the goddamn head because he sunned him. Like, Donald Trump is such a sundowning senior citizen. He is such a forgetful racist that he forgot where he was, who he was with, what he believes, how he's sending Gestapo onto the streets. And he was just like, I don't know, I like this guy. This guy's handsome. He's smart. I like him. Just amazing. Like, amazing. Like, Donald Trump basically the whole time said, I want to see him succeed. I would be excited if he succeeds. And I will be his cheerleader if he succeeds. If he makes New York great again, right? He's like, because New York used to be a good place. Meanwhile, Zoran Mamdani has literally said, I want to make New York a place where someone like Donald Trump never is birthed into existence. So clearly, Mr. Like, night time has not been paying attention to what Zoran has said specifically about Donald Trump, but also it was so incredible how revelatory it was about, everyone says, oh, Donald Trump just really cares about the last person who talked to him. That's exactly what this was. And you realize, you're like, wait a minute, is Trump actually a fascist, or does he surround himself with fascists? Now, of course, I think he actually is. But it's funny how you're like, oh, if we just, like, Weekend at Bernie's Donald Trump, he would wake up tomorrow a Democratic Socialist. Like, is that all it takes? Is, like, a very, like, smart, eloquent, handsome young man to be like, hey, you know what? We could provide affordable living for every person in this city. Like, Donald Trump said he didn't talk shit about New York. He didn't say it was crime-filled. He said he believed Zoran Mamdani about making it safe and how that was important. And both of them were unwavering in their commitment to the message that this is about affordability. We're not going to be, distracted by you trying to, point out that I've called you a fascist. And when asked to retract those words by the media, Zoran did not retract them. He was just like, I mean, we don't agree on a lot of things. We don't agree on a lot of things.